tell you just a few things about what's been going on around here. I'm gonna be a good YouTuber and do an actual intro really quick. Ready? If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Actually, I was looking through my analytics the other day, and like 75% or possibly more of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. So it would make me really happy if you press the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. I also have a Patreon. I upload 3 videos there a month that I don't upload here on YouTube, and they are another way of kind of getting to know me a little bit better. I tend to be a little bit more personal on there with whisper rambles and life updates. The last video of every month over on Patreon is a life update. So yeah, if you're interested in just getting more videos from me or hearing the monthly life updates, I do have a Patreon. The link is down below. It is just $3 a month. I've also been trying to post like pictures here and there too, so not just videos, but just like a check-in, like here's what I'm up to right now, or like yesterday I was doing a few things around my apartment, like little updates here and there, and I posted a picture, like things like that. So yeah, if you are interested, it's $3 a month, and the link is down below. I haven't done an intro like that in a hot second. It just feels weird to me. It doesn't feel natural, but gotta do it sometimes. Also, I'm wearing this vest that I didn't realize is gonna like make noise as I film this video and as I move my arms, but maybe it'll be a relaxing noise. I'll try not to move too much. I feel like Maria, Gentle Whispering, she has videos where she used to call it like the crinkle shirt or something, and she would wear it and like make sounds with it. This was not intentional. This is what I'm wearing to work today, but hey, if it makes good sounds, then sure, I did it on purpose. I've had a busy day. It is 1:22 p.m. so I will be leaving for work right after I film this video. I went to the dentist this morning. I was there at 8:45. Got my cleaning done. Got yelled at for not flossing properly, but I also didn't have any cavities, so I'm still counting it as a win. Then I got a workout in. It was a good workout too. I did more than I normally do. Had some food, showered, got myself ready, and now here we are filming a video. Hair wash day is tomorrow though, so we're doing the slicked back look today. It's fine, it's chic. Alright, let me get into the actual subject matter of today's video. I just feel like I'm in a rambly mood today. I don't know, I'm coming out of a long weekend, so I feel rested and energized. Anyway, so I'm a little not too happy with my building management right now. I have expressed in various videos that I am working to get my windows replaced on my side of the building. I am pretty much, minus one other apartment, the only unit that has outdated windows. So if you look around, everybody else has newer, like insulated, white framed windows. And I wasn't the one that noticed it, my mom was. It took me a second to notice it for whatever reason. And so, appearance-wise, listen, I normally wouldn't care. And it looks the same from the inside. It's really the outside that you can't really tell. But my windows rattle very loudly when it's windy. I'm sure you've heard it in a couple videos here and there. And it drives me crazy. Like at night, if it's a super windy night, I know I'm gonna have a hard time falling asleep because the rattling just keeps me up. I've slowly started to get used to it, I feel like, but that's not something I should get used to, you know? So what it has to be is that the guy who lived here before me just opted to not get them redone. I don't know point ago before I went to Mexico, and he came for something else. But while he was here, I was like, let me ask you a question, like, what's the deal with the windows? I noticed mine are different, whatever. And he was like, yeah, you should call, because it's not his decision. He just lives here and takes care of like maintenance things, but big things like that you have to call the management office. And he was like, yeah, you're right, like, you should call the management office, see what they say. You know, he was like, they should be responsible for that. Like, maybe I'll have to pay something, but the way co-ops usually work is everything inside of your walls you're responsible for. Everything on the outside, anything that belongs to the building, like the outside and whatever, is their responsibility, is usually how it works. So he was like, yeah, like, I would give him a call, just see what they say, you know, ask them what the process would be like, whatever. So I was like, awesome, my super's cool. So I did it. I called last week, 2 weeks ago. No, it had to have been last week. I called last week, early last week, and I did get through to somebody finally. It's a lot of like automated voice boxes, but I eventually got to talk to a human, and she was the assistant of the president of the company or something like that, whatever his title is. And I know him because I've seen his name on like every document, obviously, that I've had for this building, and I'm trying to remember if I spoke to him for my interview or somebody else, but regardless, I know his name very well. And when I called, he was on vacation, but I did speak to his secretary, and I left a message with her, and I think it went straight to his voicemail. I don't know. Either way, I haven't heard from anybody. It's been about a week and a half since I've called. So now I have to harass them until somebody gives me an answer. But listen, I'm a nice, understanding person. He was on vacation, he's coming back, he probably has a bunch of messages to get through. I get it. I'm not gonna be difficult. Listen, there are a lot of difficult people that live in this building, and I don't mean that in like a mean way, but a lot of them are senior citizens, a lot of them are older, like 80s, like older, and they will raise holy hell when they even have a minor inconvenience, which I respect. If I was retired, just trying to live my best life, I probably would too. You know, and we only have one elevator, so something happens to the elevator, a lot of them can't use the stairs, so they're just like trapped in their apartment. I would raise holy hell too. I get it. So I'm sure he has a lot of messages to get through, but I do have to call again because I said I was going to do it at the start of the year, and then the start of the year was kind of crazy, and then the last month has been crazy, and so I'm trying to kind of get on that. So maybe one day this week I will call again. I'll be very nice about it until I call like 4 times and I still don't hear back from anybody, but usually they're pretty good, so we'll see. I wasn't even really trying to like talk about, like, I wasn't planning on talking about that in this video, but I guess it's fitting. I guess that's gossip. So the first thing I was really going to talk about was we actually had a little bit of a scare in this building. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but my building is very quiet. Like, whenever people come here, family, friends, everyone's like, it's so quiet here. And I'm like, I know, that's why I love it. It's an old building too, so the walls and the floors and the ceilings, everything is thick, so you don't hear anything. You don't hear people walking, you don't hear, that's why I feel comfortable having a treadmill in here. Like, it's great. So it's quiet, and it's in a pretty safe area. Like, there's never really been many problems. But one day last month, like mid to late January, we all got an email that that the lobby door in our building, and there's 2 buildings in this complex, both lobby doors were like somehow opened or like breached, which is not great. And the basement in my building, there were a couple of common doors found open in the morning. So essentially, like, the building was broken into. So that was kind of a scare. Didn't really like that. And I always took pride in how safe this place was and quiet it was and whatever. And so I was like, what? Like, I don't like that, and I live alone, and so I went and purchased, and I think everyone who lives alone, whether you live in a house, an apartment, I don't care, if you live alone, get one of these. They're like $20. I'll put a picture up on the screen. It's a little lock for your door. It goes right under your doorknob, and it is quite literally, even if the lock is broken, the lock on the door, even if it's broken, it is physically impossible to open the door with that thing under your doorknob. Get one. My best friend turned me onto it because her and her husband's apartment was broken into over the summer. Like really broken into, and like a few things were taken, like very scary. And after that happened, she bought one of those for their apartment. So she turned me onto it. So really, if you live alone, if you take nothing from this video, get one of those. I put it on every night and I feel so safe with it. So I got one of those. I had been meaning to get one of those anyway, like from the time I moved in, but this situation was just, I think, like the kick in the butt that I needed. So I bought one of those. But now I feel like everybody's a little bit like not on edge necessarily, but just kind of like weary. We have security cameras, so I hope they looked at them. We only got that one email about what happened, and then I never heard anything again. But you hear people kind of like gossip, especially older people around here. They're like, "Did you hear what happened? Did you hear what happened in the basement?" And I'm like, "Yes, I get the same emails you do." But so that was kind of like not so great to hear. But there have been no scares since then, and that's the one and only scare that I've had in 8 months, and my apartment's fine. But yeah, just a little scary. So get one of those locks. And it was funny too. Not that long ago, I was changing. Oh, I wasn't doing it. My stepdad and my mom were over. My stepdad was helping me change the locks on my door, not for any particular reason other than I've been meaning to do that for months. I think everyone should do that when you move into a new place. So anyway, we're doing that, and my neighbor across the hall, I've talked to you guys about him before. He's nice, but he's a little like, I don't want to say odd, but I don't know. Anyway, he popped his head out because he could hear us working in the doorway, and our doors are parallel to each other, right in front of each other. And so I'm sure he heard us, and he came out and was like, "Are you changing those for anything in particular? Like for any reason in particular? Like did something happen?" Which, I mean, it's a valid question. I would want to know if the guy across the hall's apartment got broken into, But I was like, no, like it's nothing like that. Don't worry. Like, just something that I've been wanting to do. But I was like, I appreciate you checking in on me. I didn't know what else to say because he wasn't checking in on me. He was kind of making sure that he was good, but whatever. And he was like, "Oh, okay," and then just closed the door. That's what I'm saying. He's not odd. He's just like a little socially awkward, a little bit. Like there was no, "Okay, well, take care, have a nice night." It's just like, "Oh, okay," close the door. But whatever. Anyway. So that was the little walk situation. The other thing I was gonna talk to you guys about, I don't remember if I mentioned this or not yet, but the board of my building put a potential ban on smoking in your own unit, so you could smoke outside, but smoking inside was allowed, not necessarily like in the hallways of the lobby, but in your own unit. If you choose to smoke, there was no rule against that. And so basically the board came forward and emailed all of us, and also put a piece of paper under everybody's door, and it was like, hey, if enough people vote for this, we'll pass it. But if nobody votes for it, then, you can keep smoking, do whatever you want to do. And, they listed, like, pros and cons. Like, I thought they went about it in a really good way. I do. They said, we recognize that you own your unit, so just like if it was a house, a single family house, you could smoke in it should you choose to. But it being a building is a little bit different, but they were like, we recognize that, so we see that. But on the other side, people have apparently been complaining because, it could seep through walls, or the hallways do smell like cigarette smoke and weed a lot. And I'll be honest, when I first came to see this building, when I first smelled that the first time I came, I almost didn't put an offer down on this place for that reason. And so the board said, well, a con of it is that when it comes time for people to sell their units, they might have a hard time trying to sell it because of that reason. So they said, we're leaving it in your hands. Sign this piece of paper and put it in there was a box in the lobby. Sign this piece of paper and put it in the box in the lobby if you want to vote to put a ban on smoking. And if you want to keep things the way they are, then just don't do anything. So, I signed it. I'll be honest, I signed it. I don't smoke. I did it from the mere, what's the word I'm looking for? Standpoint that in a couple of years, because I don't plan on being here forever, I want to sell this place in a couple of years. I want to know that that's something that's maybe not going to deter someone from wanting to move here. Right? I don't want to get stuck with this place, but want to move on, but then still have payments on this. If I want to sell it, I want to sell it and be gone. So that was my point of view. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like coming home and walking through the hallway. Like, weed, I could deal with weed, like, whatever. I smelled it every day in high school, smelled it in college, but I don't like coming home and walking through a hallway that smells like cigarettes. I don't. So, it's a democracy sort of thing. You vote for what you want, and that was what I chose. So whatever. That was supposed to be closed and counted at the end of December. I think, like December 30th. The second week of January, it still wasn't closed, and so they had prolonged it because they said that, oh, you know what, I lied to you. Everyone had to sign the paper, and there was a check for yes and a check for no, and then you sign it. That's what it was. Okay, so ignore everything I said before. You had to put the paper in the box either way and write yes or no and write your name and your unit number. And so by the second week of January, a lot of people apparently still hadn't voted yes or no, just didn't say anything. And they wanted to get as many ballots in, rightfully so, as possible. So they sent out another message the second week of January and basically said, we're going to extend it for another week or whatever. If you have not voted yet, please do so. And I had voted at this point. And so one day, my neighbor, who I had never met, she lives the other way. I had never met her before, I'd never seen her before. She knocks on my door. So at first I'm like, ooh, new neighbor, yes, so nice to meet you. I forgot her name already. I have her number on my phone though, so I could find it. But anyway, so yeah, at first I'm like, well, I'm gonna meet a new neighbor. Cool, great, because I only know like 3 other people. And right away she was like, so what do you think of this ballot thing? And listen, I mind my business. I don't want to know what you think. This is just me. I don't know. You may think that this is a bad standpoint to have. I don't care what you think. If you vote no, I want to keep smoking, or I want people to keep smoking, cool. More power to you. That's why you have a vote. Everybody has a vote. Everybody has a choice. You know, I don't care what this one and that one are doing, and I don't think anybody necessarily needs to know what I feel, you know. That's just me. So I kept my answers very vague, and she started going on and on about all these complaints she has about the board, and she was really fired up, and she was like, you know, I'm going through a breakup right now, and I'm using my ammunition for that to fight back at the board. And part of me, I kind of joked with her, and I was like, same girl. But she was just really fired up, and I was like, this is a lot for me. I was like on my way out to go to work, and she raised the fact that, you know, they raised our maintenance payments a little bit, which they did. Obviously, I'm not a fan of that. So she started going on about that and how they feel like they have so much power and blah, 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 blah. Which, listen, valid arguments. If that is her standpoint, if that is her point of view, go girl. Like, I'm not gonna take that away from you. And she goes, I started this petition. And right away I was like, oh God. Oh no. She goes, I signed this petition to let the board know that they can't do whatever they want and whatever. Again, I respect people. I really do. I'm not even just being sarcastic. I respect people that take a stand for what they believe in and fight back. I do. No matter what the subject matter is, I respect the hell out of it. But I didn't really want to be involved. And so she brings up the petition. She you know, brings up all these points. I didn't tell her that I voted yes, because I didn't think she needed to know. But she goes, do you want to sign my petition? And I have a problem with saying no to people. It's not a good thing. I'm getting better at it. But I have a hard time saying no to people. So what did I do? I signed the petition. Should I have signed the petition? No. But I also kind of, I don't want to say I wanted her to leave me alone, but like I was just like, I want to make her happy. And, you know, because then if I was like, oh, I don't want to sign it, it would have gone into a discussion and maybe an argument about like why I didn't want to sign, you know. I was just like, okay. So I signed it. And I opened that can of worms. And she was like, oh, thank you, like blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, yeah, you're welcome. Like, good luck. You know, I have no ill intention. I was like, good luck. I hope it goes well for you, you know, whatever. So then, like, only a few days later, I don't even think it was a week later, I come home. No, I was already home. I was home. But I hear a sound, and I look at my front door, and somebody slips a piece of paper under my door. And I knew it wasn't, like, from the building, because it was, like, a small piece of paper. If it was the building, they put a standard 8x10 piece of paper. So it was a little piece of paper, like, little notepad paper. And I was like, uh-oh. Because she knocked or something. This was a couple weeks, this was like a month ago, I'm trying to remember. I was getting in the shower and I heard someone ring the bell, and I thought it was an Amazon package, so, you know, they'll just leave it. So I went about my business, got back in the shower. As I was getting out of the shower, that's when I heard the paper come through. And so that same neighbor wrote me a note, which thank God I was getting in the shower, else I would have answered. Left a note and was like, you know, they still haven't counted the votes, like, I'd love to keep talking to you about this, and left her number. I saved her number. I never called her, and I really feel guilty about it. I saved her number so so that I have it, but I never called her. And she doesn't have my number, and I do feel guilty. I haven't seen her since. But I also just don't have anything to say. Like, listen, raising the maintenance payments wasn't great, but it wasn't a lot. And everything in the world is going up right now. Like, things are expensive, and you know, if it was going up hundreds of dollars, different story. But everything is going up a little bit right now. I'm not surprised. Sure, if it keeps happening, I'm new to the building. If it keeps happening, different story. But right now, I am just too new and just not in a place where I'm gonna fight. Anyway, that was that. I hope you guys don't think I'm a bad person. I think my camera's about to die. That's really it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video.